Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah, yeah,
And we
yeah.
back in this bitch and we back. And we back in this bitch and we back. And we back in this bitch and we back. And we back in this bitch. Yeah, I'm still with him or whatever.
You better be. You better be. You better be. Or else we have problems.
We are back, y'all.
We are.
Oh my God. I feel so good. Doesn't it feel good to be back? It's
It
like
feels-
we were on vacation and then we're back.
It wasn't a vacation.
Well, you know.
No, I'm just saying it wasn't a vacation. I'm not going to allow you to, yeah, it wasn't a vacation.
You know how you go on vacation and you say, I miss my bed. I just
Yeah.
want to go home. Like, that's what I mean. Like, we're
Okay.
back home. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
we've
feel
been
you.
out, and so now we back home.
I feel you, but then in vacation, you be like, but I could stay a couple of more days. With this, I was like, we need to go home. You can't hit the table, remember?
Oh, you don't start.
You forgot the rules?
Yeah,
You forgot the rules.
Remind me of the rules.
Get
Come
yourself
on, give me the
together.
rules. Give me the house
Don't hit the
rules.
mic. Don't hit the table. Don't hit this, and be completely
number one-
completely transparent.
And don't cut me off.
You know that's not a rule.
Are you excited to be back?
I am.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling real good. I'm feeling it's just so many things is happening, in our lives, and God is moving, but the devil is moving also. But God is of course moving way more and doing way more stuff, and so that totally outweighs everything. I'm excited. I did the burger bar.
Yes.
The burger bar. If y'all don't know, it's a safe space for men to come in and just emote, and be comfortable and be comforted by other men. And it was an amazing success.
You said it was 3 times better than the last one.
Yeah, it was exhausting, to be honest with you. It was emotionally exhausting. Yes, it was. But I mean, that's what I do it for, So I got these shirts. Fellas need healing too. Got a song about to come out,
Friendswhosmash.com.
Yeah, all that good stuff. And my wife is doing.
Shout out to Vic and Tinsley for allowing us.
You
to
just
share
said
their
no.
space.
Didn't you say no cutoffs?
I said hold on, like.
But that's a cutoff. That means that's you still cut me off just because you said hold on. Don't mean it's not a cutoff.
Okay, all right. Don't do it no more. Don't do it no more.
No.
All right. So shout out to Vic and Tinsley for allowing them to share their space with us and opening up their space to Black-owned businesses to help us in our elevation process and our growth process by living out our wildest dreams right in front of you all. So we are live in Spizzy Studio, and it feels so good. They have a location here in Brandywine and one in Temple Hills.
Yep.
Make sure you visit them ASAP. You can follow them on Instagram at Drink Spizzy. Yes. So, Dear Self Brunch.
I didn't even say it.
What
I
you
didn't
say?
say it.
Okay, go
you don't
ahead.
know what I was about to say.
All right, what you was about to say?
I'm not even gonna say it now.
Just go ahead and say it.
My wife has been preparing for her event, which is Dear Self Brunch, which she does a great job at. It is. I can't even explain it. I really can't. And just to see how excited you are and all of the things that are happening. That just solidifies that this is what you're supposed to do. This is a calling. You know what I'm saying? This is what you're made for, and the amount of people that I know will be blessed at this event. That's also exciting.
I want to introduce our guest, but before I introduce our guest, I wanted to just talk about Dear Self Brunch. I was talking to you this morning about what it means to me and how it's coming together and how I'm preparing and planning for it. Dear Self Brunch normally happens in the beginning of the year. It's happening at the end of the year, and it's taking me. I'm planning it 5 or 6 months ahead, and I normally plan events 1 to 2 months. It only takes me 1 month, but
3 weeks,
yeah,
maybe.
And so even with Dear Self Brunch, if I wanted to do it next week, I could do it next week because I started planning at the beginning of this month. We are officially sold out 100 tickets. We have our speakers. We have our panelists. We have I have my co-pilots. I have my in-flight directors. I have all of the entertainment for it. I have my event planner, so it's really ready to go. But God told me to just wait, right? And remember, I told you my message was to keep getting them. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to add anything else to Dear Self Brunch. You know what I mean? And my focus for it is like the ultimate thing is healing, and whatever that looks like for people, whatever type of healing that looks like. But I know that I've been tasked to create this event, produce this event, because the people that are coming are not coming just to have brunch or to just laugh and kiki and see me and all of that. They're coming for. I mean, they are coming for.
Some may, but they're in for a rude awakening. That's what the.
Yeah.
That's what's beautiful about it.
And so I'm excited because this Dear Self Brunch has gone to a whole nother level. And it's so crazy because our guest today was one of my speakers at Dear Self. One of my past Dear Self. Oh, God, now I'm about to cry.
Well, no, we actually have a buku of history with these people.
Yes. So I'm excited about it. Dear Self Brunch will be happening later on this year. It is officially sold out, so I don't need to promote it to go tell people to go get tickets.
Right.
But if you want to sponsor Friends Who Smash, podcast, Dear Self Brunch, the Burger Bar,
the play.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, we're about to do the play.
Yeah, we're about to do the play.
We're
gonna announce it. We're gonna announce it, but we're doing the play again. Yeah, so y'all come out, and then also the retreat.
Yeah, the retreat. The retreat is officially sold out too. So, yeah.
But that's where we, if I'm not mistaken, that's not where we met this couple. But I think that this is where we got to know them.
No, we're family. Like, we're literally family.
I know that. Mm-hmm. But what I'm saying is I
got
think
to know them at the retreat.
Right. Because they was at our first retreat.
Our first retreat in Miami.
Yes.
That's so dope how things come full circle. You
yes.
want to introduce
No,
them?
you got it. Yeah.
Without further ado, we have Jeremiah and Tierra Abu
Bakr.
Got it.
Say it again.
Abu Bakr.
Okay, Abu Bakr. I got it now.
We are very excited. How y'all doing?
Good.
Y'all look great. Y'all are a beautiful couple. Y'all look good. Y'all look so good. Yes.
Dark skin mob.
Yes, they look good. Yeah. They look so good together. Y'all really do. Y'all really do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So we had y'all on because it only felt right. Jeremiah, you are the epitome of hustle and grit when it comes to this real estate business. It is undeniable that you are at the top of the list when it comes to real estate in our area, and I'm sure you're going to expand. And Tierra, you are so good at healing and getting women in a space to begin their healing, talk about self-care, talk about all of that stuff. So you two both embody what our listeners need, right? And you also will provide hope for them after they listen to this podcast.
Houses in healing.
Houses in healing. That's so good. Y'all better.
Houses in healing.
Y'all better do something. Come on now.
Let's go.
Y'all better do something with that. I already know he gonna put something
Yeah,
tomorrow.
I'm gonna keep this
I'll
video.
be like, no.
I'm keeping this video. I'm keeping this because I know it's gonna make some money.
Right. So y'all tell us about what's been going on. What y'all have going on lately.
You want to go first? It's ladies first, I'm gentlemen.
What do we have going on lately? Business, family, raising kids, trying to do our best to keep our marriage, in a good place, not just together, but trying to ensure that both of us are happy and healthy mentally. Business is doing so well for both of us, and while that is an amazing thing, it's crazy. A lot of days we feel like we are thriving but drowning at the same time, with 4 kids, taking care of his dad, just trying to balance everything. So we are always all over the place. But so grateful. Super grateful.
Jeremiah.
Oh no, I mean that's you summed it up. I mean, at the end of the day, we kind of just still figuring it out. I mean, we've been together 9 years and still figuring it out, still learning. As things evolve, things change day to day. So we adapt pretty well for the most part, and that's just the nature of life and business and family and hustle and bustle. And I think we mesh well in that regard. You know, we balance each other out, you know, with strengths and weaknesses to make sure that we, you know, we stay, you know, on pace to.
Have y'all been married for 9 years?
No, well, 5 years will be this year. 5 years in
5
August.
years.
Okay, good.
Okay.
5 years in
Okay.
August.
I am noticing a tremendous shift in energy between y'all two from when we had the retreat. Like the
Okay.
retreat, I don't think that y'all were in a good space, like a really good space at the retreat.
Oh no.
Well, let's talk about that.
Hey, it's a 360, no question.
Yeah.
What made y'all want to come to the retreat first
Right.
of all?
I think we was always looking and searching for, you know, opportunity to evolve and get better at, you know, relationship, marriage, and just figuring it out because we knew, you know, we had a lot to learn. Like marriage, I had never been married at the time. You know, Tiara was married prior to me, so she had a little more experience in the marriage vein. But for me, you know, we was always, like I said, looking for married couples, you know, people that we can communicate with, talk to try to figure things out. And obviously try to take something out of that to, you know, implement in our marriage. But I think that was more so just us trying to, you know, find something to get into to kind of, you know, elevate and be able to, you know, be in the same space with people going where we trying to go.
Go ahead, Tiara.
When we went to that retreat, that was like we were coming off of like a breakup.
Yeah,
we
no,
had,
I remember that.
Yeah,
It was.
and we were not we were trying to get it together. But it still was like, I mean, I didn't trust him. Like it was a lot of stuff. It was a lot of stuff. And a lot of challenges with blending the family. Like
I remember that. That was tough.
It was a lot of, we were not in a good space at all. So I'm so grateful that we have consistently done the work. Like that retreat was one of our first steps to like really being serious about doing the work.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm always grateful for you guys and teaching us how to hold space for each other and how to be transparent with each other. But yeah, no, we probably ain't even really like each other at that retreat.
You did not.
No,
We
we was
didn't.
y'all like beefing at
Y'all
some point in
were.
time. We wasn't speaking for a minute. doing
No,
that.
y'all were
That's-
not. I
yeah.
remember because when we had our breakout session, remember the guys were with the guys, were with Black, and y'all were with me.
Yeah.
And we were outside, and Tiara was like not
Nah, she wasn't with it.
happy.
But
She was not okay.
I don't know if you remember this, Jeremiah, but remember they was outside because this is, I guess, when we had to write the letters.
I remember that.
We had to write the letters to the other person, and you was
Let
gonna
me
read
see
it
it.
in front of people.
Yeah.
And so
see, I
they
see.
went outside, and they was doing theirs, and then we was doing ours. And you know, the fellas was on some surface stuff.
Yeah.
And then I went out there, and then I
You
heard
started
that.
find out what they were talking about. We gotta switch it up.
I came back. I said, "Hey, fellas, they going in. I'm telling y'all right
No,
now."
And then
Y'all
when we
better-
came in, no,
Sure.
no, that's not how it happened. That may have happened. I'm not going to say that, so I'll take that back.
Yeah, because it definitely
So,
happened.
When we came in, remember we came in and they started talking, and we got video of this. I can pull the video up. We got video of y'all starting to do y'all part, and I'm like, hell no, that's
Oh, yeah.
Remember, I was like, that is
I
not.
remember that.
I
They
said
was
we
trying
out
to
there
do
working.
some sweet surface
Yes, I
stuff.
was like,
Yeah.
that's not what we did outside. We did work outside. And Black was like, well, you can't discredit what we did.
Yep, I remember that. I remember
And
that.
then we went back outside and let
Okay.
y'all have a few more minutes to dig deeper.
Nah, I think I know you're right. What happened was I went out there and I heard what y'all was doing. Then I came in and I told them, look, we need to switch it up. They going hard out there. And then I guess people just did the best that they could. And then y'all came back in.
And I
then
said, hell no.
And then I said, I
This is
told
not
y'all.
enough.
I told y'all. I told
Because
y'all.
we tried, even the ladies, like I think we was trying to be surface. Sherelle was like, no, what is this? What's really
Yeah.
going on?
Yeah,
So-
because I remember
It
were
got deep. It was
it got
some
crucial.
of the,
It got real crucial because when people, what I realized is that, especially in marriage, when you have an issue, it is not a surface issue. It is something deeply rooted in that, especially when you're blending a family. People don't really talk about what that looks like behind closed doors. And I think a lot of people are afraid to talk about that because they don't want to ruffle feathers with the other parent. They don't know how it's going to work. But you have to talk about it in detail, and you have to talk about the facts, your emotions, how it makes you feel, how you think the child feels. And that's what we did outside, because I think Tiara was like, just the blended family thing is just not working. And so we don't know how to do it. And I'm like, okay, and what else? And she was like, Sherelle, I said, and I remember telling her this, you paid your money to be here. Like, you paid your money to be here. I need you to tell me what is going on. I need you to tell me what you need Jeremiah to know. And she was just like, I remember her looking at me, she was like, this too much. No, she was like, you do too much. That's what she said to me. She said that to me so many times that weekend. She told me, she was like, you do too much the whole weekend. And I was like, well, pull it out. And so it was, the retreat has always been and will always be a place for you to be extremely uncomfortable. Extremely. Even us, even Black and I, you're going to be extremely uncomfortable because if you stay comfortable and you stay complacent, nothing will get fixed. No, that's a fact. Right? And so that retreat was amazing. I remember, and we'll never really divulge information about stuff that happened at the retreat, right. But it's one thing that first of all, before I say that though, looking back on that and then looking at y'all now as far as the blended family, of course I know the father of your son, mm-hmm. And just to see how it looks now, it really it's inspiring. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's beautiful as a Black man to see two Black men being able to, I wouldn't necessarily say share the responsibility, but support each other in doing it. It's sharing the responsibility. Yeah. It's sharing the responsibility. You can't. It's nothing else. That's what it is. Well, that's dope. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to definitely commend y'all on that. And when it comes to the retreat, I remember it gets so serious that I remember one person was upset. What her problem was her boyfriend's haircut. She hated it. Yeah. Do you remember that? She could not. You don't remember that? Oh, she could not get past his hair. She could not. Yes. No, not even just his haircut, but the way he looked. Yeah. She could not get past it, and that was a real thing. I can't remember which couple that was, but I do remember us. Yeah. Nah, we don't need to know who. We don't need to remember which couple. When she brought it up, I legit was like, I started laughing, right? And I'm like, that's your biggest issue? She was like, that is my only issue. He's sweet. He takes care of me. He loves me. But I hate his shape up. But I hate the way he looks. Wow. And I was like, damn. I don't know what to do with it. It's nothing you can do. That's a real issue, though. That's hard. That's hard. What do you do with that? Yeah. A different haircut. Well, let's. I mean, I know you got a whole joint there. It's hard to say it though. Yeah, I was gonna say it's hard to say. First of all, I don't understand how you reach a point of marriage or thinking of long-term relationship if you aren't attracted to someone. I told Black I hated his glasses when we first got together. And I was like, here. I hate your glasses. I cannot deal with these glasses. We're gonna have to. This is when we were just dating. I didn't know his health care situation, so I didn't even know if he could get new glasses or not. Right. But I'm like, these glasses are not going to work for me. I think he had tape on them. It was some wild ass Urkel shit that I just hated so, and I could not take it. And I wasn't going to sit there and try to force myself to look at him with these glasses. But you had to though, because I did not take the glasses off. I hated them so much. And you fell in love with him. I told him with them taped up glasses. Taped up glasses and all. Hey, niggas love Steve Urkel. They try to go on him, but hey. Do. But no, tell the truth. I would tell him, just take your glasses off. You don't need to see. You don't need to see. Oh my God. I would tell him all the time, just take your glasses. I really hated his glasses. So I get it. But when she said that was her biggest issue, I was like, they came to the retreat because she don't like his haircut. Yeah, but she never told him, and they had been together for 5 years. Yeah, that was You was about to say something. That was a fun.
Oh, so before then, she didn't have that conversation with him?
No.
That was the first time they came.
Wow. That was during the session where you told, where you expressed yourself.
Yeah, and they were together for 5 years. Can you imagine being that you're held bondage, you holding yourself back? She was like, I'm not happy with his looks.
You got any issues with my looks?
I think that's a valid, question.
Yeah, that's tough.
But I think that's
said
hard
no,
to ask. I think that's hard to ask.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
is
saying?
hard
And
to ask.
I definitely think it's like a blow to the ego for a man and woman. You
Yeah,
know,
for sure.
I think looks is probably one of the toughest conversations.
I
in,
agree.
in a marriage or in a relationship.
Yeah.
I always ask Black, like, what do you like this? And he be like, he never says no that he doesn't.
Now go ahead.
What you was about to say? Go ahead, because I know you about to say something.
I was
wild
just gonna
shit that
say
you
it's,
never
it's
told me.
levels. Yeah, you're probably right. I never told you
ahead.
that. It's levels to it. So it's levels to it's levels to how much I like it. You know what I'm saying? If I sit and I'm like, oh baby.
It's a 1 or it's a 10, but he still like it.
Yeah, exactly. Way to break it down. Way to break it down. It's never a 0. But it could be a 1. I'm like, oh, that looks nice. The 10 is baby. That you
Baby,
killing
you
that.
you killing it, baby. You
But what
are
type of
beautiful.
response you get back from her when you give it? Oh, it's nice.
Well, she
I know when he don't like it. I know
That
when he
frustrates
Nah,
me.
that
I
be
be
shit. She
so.
be getting mad.
Oh,
Like,
I
I
be
say
so
that.
upset. Yeah, don't let me go out here set
tell
up.
him
Like,
that all
why
the
you
time.
not just if you don't like it, just say you don't like it. He be like, I said you alright.
Yeah.
I said it's alright.
Yeah.
Like, no, that's not. That's how I know it ain't cute.
It
if
ain't
he
cute.
say alright,
Yeah, uh-huh.
change.
But do y'all think that it's cute when y'all put it on?
Yeah, sometimes I do think it's cute.
I do. Shit.
You said
That's all.
sometimes you
Or
put stuff
I
on
either
that
think
you.
it's cute or I'm not sure. That's why I'm asking.
Asking,
Like, if I
exactly.
look like a Bama, say that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't wait till I go out in the street and then somebody be like, "What she got on?" And then you would be like, "Yeah."
But just because I may feel that way, now if you get dressed for my opinion, that's one thing. But somebody else may think it's cute. You know what I'm saying? Or it look nice. Like so, my conversation with you.
Yeah.
Be-
This how I know
Because
when
my-
Black don't
she
like
used
it,
to
'cause
have-
he'd say, I mean, for me, I think it looks great. I'm
Exactly.
like, no, this
that
nigga.
mean the rest of the world will think you look like a fool.
So y'all. I don't know if it's still going on or not, but it was a summer where it was some leggings.
They're
And
not leggings. They kulak pants.
Kulak pants, I guess. You know what I'm saying? They got all of these prints on them, look like Indian prints or something like that.
Yeah, I know you talking
I
about.
used to hate them.
He called them the Rhonda pants.
Yeah,
They're my
everybody
favorite
named Rhonda used to
pants.
wear them pants, and I couldn't stand them. But she didn't care about me
She
not
wore them
standing them.
anyway.
You know,
Because she felt
they
cute
real,
in
you know
them.
they real soft and they tight at the top and then they kind of like bell bottom at the bottom.
Mhm.
Yeah, he hates them. So now I just wear them around the house.
And that's
he
why.
like,
And that's why I never.
Oh, Lord,
that's
here
not.
she come downstairs with them damn Rhondas. Like that's the only thing he's expressed that he does not like.
That's why I never took the tape off my glasses.
Because I wore a whole. Remember, I wore a whole Rhonda jumpsuit.
Summer, you had a
on,
whole
4th of
Rhonda
July.
summer.
Oh,
my
man.
goodness.
Okay, so let's get into the meat of marriage under fire.
Oh, that's what this is called.
Yeah.
Damn.
Sheesh. Let me tell everybody to pick up their drink.
All right,
Marriage
hold
under
on.
fire.
Yep, marriage under fire. All right, so the first question that I came up with is, can intimacy go hand in hand with the 5 love languages? So first, let me ask y'all this. Do you know Jeremiah's love language?
Yeah.
What is it?
His love language is physical touch, for sure, number 1. And then he's going to say this is not number 2, but gifts is number 2.
No, it's words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation is number 3.
This is
But this is from my perspective. Words of affirmation is number 2 from his perspective. And then gifts is number 3. But gifts is a thing.
She gonna tell-
whose perspectives matter. Like,
Yes,
doesn't his perspective matter?
I mean, his perspective, they both matter.
What?
'Cause I'm the one loving him, and I know how important gifts are. I feel like in our
To
relationship.
you?
No,
Or
to him.
Okay.
To him.
Oh, so you think he's in
Yes.
denial?
Right.
Basically. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Jeremiah?
definitely number 3, but.
What, the gifts? Is,
Gifts.
So okay.
So
that-
it
it's
is- so it
was
is a part of the
transition.
language.
No, it
Okay.
used to be my number 2, but I think as you grow and get older, those love languages change. So I think at some point it was number 2.
Okay.
But I think now it's number 3 for sure.
Okay.
So that's an
I can receive
example
that.
of
How they change.
how we change in a marriage and how we grow in our marriages. And that was so good because people miss growth spurts in marriage, right? So one day, like Jeremiah said, he used to be gifts, but number 2, but now it's words of affirmation because he's grown. And so now you've learned something about your husband on Francis Man.
Well, she already knew.
She said it's number 2. He said it's number 3 now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
So what was the question?
I first asked him what the love languages. So Jeremiah, what are Tiara love languages?
Quality time and words of affirmation.
Okay. All right. So how do those go hand in hand with
That's just funny.
intimacy? Why it's funny?
Because we be having this conversation all the time. Like, this was one of our struggles. Like, over the last year, we were having more dialogue about, quality time and that level of intimacy that we need. Digging deep and having conversations that's quality in order to build, a level of intimacy.
Yeah.
And so, that's right on point. That we having this conversation because we've been having that. And that was a struggle of mine because obviously, in my perspective, men had struggled with digging deep, and that was a struggle of mine. Like just having that conversation, I would always be surface.
Yeah. And
so, I would probably say like a year ago, I had a real tough day. And we had a real deep conversation, shed some tears and got really emotional. And it kind of broke some ice for me to be able to have some level of, deeper conversation that I've had in the past. So it definitely helped us to get to where we are today to be able to have those conversations. So, yeah.
Yeah. So Tiara, his first one is
Physical touch.
physical touch. So, of course, physical touch, that we all know that can get to a certain level of intimacy. But just like a hug, right? Like would a hug suffice for you, Jeremiah?
Say it again.
Would a hug suffice for you, since physical touch is your first? So like, when you came home and you had a long day, and all Tiara had to offer you, because she's also had a long day, was a hug, would that suffice? Would that satisfy the intimacy that you need in regards to physical touch?
Yeah, that's a start, because I think for me, in most cases, that was always a struggle because we so busy and got so much going on. Right. Sometimes we forget, that how much that really means. At the moment that we crack the door, like, let's check in, let's have some level of intimacy, whether it be a kiss or whatever, because we do that. We wake up in the morning, you fresh and energetic, and you good. Yeah. We give each other a kiss before we walk out the door. But what about when we walk in the door and kind of set the table for the rest of the evening? And a lot of times we was missing each other in that regard. Yeah.
You do get real busy, like, and it's not that you don't want to do it. It's just like, damn, I had a really rough day. I mean, I love you, but now I got to cook the kids, I got to do this, I got to send an email, I got to do all of these things. So you do miss those moments, and it's very important for us to be present in our marriage, even if you're tired. Like, and that's the hardest part.
It's not. I think that it's hard for certain people. It's not difficult for me. I'm not sure if others are like that. But
what's not difficult for you?
Like coming in and even sharing a moment of intimacy.
Oh yeah, you're good at that.
Yeah, initially, and then I can go back to feeling stressed or whatever, but I can walk in the door and feel like this is my relief, so let me go ahead and hey baby, and then go back to what I was doing. But that's not really
that's
difficult.
True. You are that person. When you come in the house, you do greet me with affection, and then that's when you'll go back into your shell. And I'm like, even like when he first comes in and he's kissing me, hey baby, but that's not what I'm focused on. Now I'm focused on what's going on, like how are you feeling, why are you this energy, because I can feel the energy, because he'll put on face, but he knows putting on face for me is not enough, because I can feel the energy. So Tiara's love language is quality time. Mm-hmm. So how do you create that space of intimacy for her to cater to her love language?
It's tough though, because and we always revert back to just like life just be hitting us, and so we have to always push the reset button. Like even those date nights, like we need those at least once a week, and those has always helped us to kind of put the kids aside, work aside, phones aside, and we can able to sit at dinner, enjoy a meal, and just have, conversation, talk, and check in and see where we are in our marriage and our relationship. And a lot of times, even like I just mentioned to her, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I said, we didn't miss a couple weeks of date nights. We gotta get back to it. Because I start feeling the anxiety. I start feeling the stress and all the stuff that come along with just being busy. Like I gotta get away, even if it's a weekend or if it's just a date night, couple hours. All that stuff add up to being something, of a level of relief for me. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be that constant reminder that we gotta get back to doing whatever that is for us to kind of, had them conversations to set the table. So
How did you feel, and like, did you feel it in those 2 weeks?
I think our marriage has changed so much, like, since I became a business owner and an entrepreneur. Like, initially, I was the 9 to 5, and he has always grinded, since the beginning of our relationship. So in the beginning, it would be me like, hey, like, we need to spend some time together. Like, that was kind of like my responsibility. But now, me being like in the beginning years of my business, like, for me, it's literally work from the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep. And so it's been him saying like, hey, like, we need to spend time together. We need to have a weekly date night. So I kind of be really locked in on business. So even though like quality time is my love language, it's like, for me, I'm so anxious, I'm stressed, I'm excited about my business. I'm just kind of locked in. And so I don't be focused on it until he says something, and then I'm like, all right, I got it.
So would you say your love language has changed? The number 1 has changed? Like Jeremiah's number 2 has changed? Because it sounds to me it's changed. Because quality time, if your love language is quality time,
And
no
now you don't
what,
really care too much. Like, well, I don't want to say care too much, but you could.
are locked into your business. It definitely has changed, because love languages is like the steering wheel to your relationship. Because if you're not catering to my love language, I'm not happy, right? You can cater to a love language you think that I like, and I'm still not fulfilled, or I'm still not satisfied.
Yeah, that's true. I would say like where I am right now, it's definitely been acts of service.
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was
anytime
gonna say.
he do anything to like help me out in my business or help me out around the house, or just like the roles has shifted so much. Like, I used to do the cooking, cleaning, doing everything. Now if he know I'm busy, like, he doing a lot of stuff with the kids. He'll, make sure the house get clean, take care of dinner. So it's definitely acts of service. And I'll be like, woo, thank you. Like, I'm so glad I didn't have to do that. So I would say right now, acts of service, and he definitely be coming through.
Yeah, so y'all know that y'all love languages have changed. So now moving
that's
forward.
a fact.
And so this is what I would suggest too. I would suggest checking in. Like, that's oh God, it was gonna, okay, I'm skipping, but now y'all didn't brought this up, so I'm just gonna go to it. But now you can have the conversation of what type of fulfillment do you need from me, right? Like, the fulfillment do you need from me, because you're thinking it's quality time, and now she like, just do the dishes. I will fuck you so good if you do the dishes tonight, or cook. You know what I'm saying? Or pick up the
This
kids.
nigga ready, homie. You ready to get to the dishes?
Oh, man.
Already,
She about to call home. Y'all put some dishes in the dish right now.
Make some dishes. Hey, eat. Everybody eat a bowl of cereal.
For real.
So I think that's very. I think
But that's interesting,
couples
though.
should do that.
Yeah, that's interesting because, when yours was quality time and he was grinding, did you feel like, he ain't putting time aside for me?
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
now, and this is a 2-part question, did you feel like, damn, he's not catering to what my love language is? And now that you are a business owner, do you look back on it and say, oh, I understand. Like, I understand what he was going through and why those things didn't necessarily happen, or why it was a struggle for it to happen?
You just said that I did, but I feel like maybe, of course, I'm sure that there were times where it was like I wanted to spend time with you, but I feel like I also, I feel like I always tried to support what he was doing. He's always been a very ambitious person, so I was okay with like holding down home while he was doing everything. I don't feel like I put like a lot of pressure. Like I know where, you know people in relationships and they like, he don't never had time for me and stuff like that. So I don't feel like it was a lot of that, and it could have been some of it, but I don't feel like it was a lot of it because I understood what he was doing. I understood the conversations that we had when we came together about, building an empire and just seeing everything that we are doing now, like we always talked about it. So I felt like I tried to be supportive. I'm sure I can recall times where I was overwhelmed and I was like, all right, look, I need your help. Like, I need you to be home. I need a break from these kids. But I felt like I understood it, and now I understand it times 10. I'm like, I get it. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think one of the things, like, I think I just said this, but like growing, people don't realize that we grow individually, right? And it's so funny because yesterday I was walking the bridge and I ran into one of Black's best friends. And when I love seeing his friends because they are so down for him, right? So when I see him, I'm like, hey, what's up? And, he got out the car, he hugged me, and I'm like, hey, I said, check on Black, check on him to make sure he good, because I talk to my friends every day. Well, I talk to 2 of my friends every day. They check on me every day. If I'm not okay, they gonna send me something in the mail. They gonna pop up at the crib. They gonna make sure I'm good. But he doesn't have that, right? Because as you know, Jeremiah, men, like you said, they hold it in, whatever. They don't really deal with their emotions outwardly. And so when I was telling him that, I was like, check on Black, check on him, make sure he good. Check on him, let him know you thinking about him. He's now a full-time entrepreneur now. He's starting to rebuild his, burger bar and the healing space for men, and it can get frustrating.
Yeah.
It can get frustrating, and we've had some personal things that that can be very frustrating for a man. And so I told him, and when I was telling him that, I started to get very emotional, and he was like, I said, I'm sorry, I didn't think that I was gonna cry. And he was like, well, you always cry, but I know why you're crying now. He's like, I know why you're crying now. He said, in marriage, you literally become one. So your heart feels his emotions. And when you're connected like that, you understand the energy that's permeating through your home. And so you just telling me to call him means that I need to call him. Because Black's love language is words of affirmation. And so if he's not getting that from his friends, his male friends, and he's just, he's getting like comments on Instagram and all the other stuff, that's cool. But getting it from his friends, his homeboys, people that he loves, he looks up to, he's inspired by, he's motivated by, means so much more than Instagram. And so, Jeremiah, when you were saying about, you felt like we need a date night, like we need this, like that, you just know that even though that's not her top priority anymore, that this is what we need to do, because this is this was her makeup before. Like, I want to go out, I need time and stuff like that. And so I think that couples really need to hone in on that energy that permeates through a relationship and not ignore it. Like when you think, because I think a lot of times couples think, oh, she may feel like this, and then they just let it go past. Or he may feel like this and just let it go past, as opposed to dealing with it head on. It creates a bigger, deeper issue.
Yeah, I agree.
Even him saying that, like, now that I'm thinking about it, because the initial question was about intimacy, like, that's always been a thing for us. Like, that's how we connect. Like, we go on a date, we go to the bar, we talk, we lock in, and then it's like, oh, yeah, it's going down. So him saying that was like, all right, I see what was happening. Like, you trying to get that energy flowing, because maybe I wasn't mentally locked in with you. So that's our way of connecting. And like you said, that's why we try to, as much as we can, like, no, we need to have a date night every week, because that's how we connect.
I see y'all on, through social media. I mean, we literally live in the same complex, y'all, and we never talk. But I see y'all on the internet, and y'all are always doing something with each other. And I remember, and that makes me feel so good, because I remember at the retreat, this is so crazy, one of your biggest things was we don't do anything. I gotta beg him to do things. And now when I see y'all having date nights, getting on a flight, taking a quick trip. Like, that shit is refreshing to see. And I think that people, y'all give, like before when I said it in the beginning, like your relationship, the growth of your relationship gives hope to people. Like, stick it out, communicate.
It gives hope, but I definitely think that, like, for people to know where y'all came from is like the most important part, because y'all haven't always been this. You know what I'm saying? And so we've seen y'all grow, but everybody don't know, you know, how y'all been and what y'all had to go through. I just had a conversation earlier today about, I think people don't realize the work.
Man.
Like, and even when you say you have to work in marriage, they still I really can't tell nobody what that means. I can tell you that it's work, but I can't tell you what type of work. I can't tell you how long it's gonna be. I can't tell you how emotionally it's gonna be. I can't tell you if you're gonna make it through it. You know what I'm saying? I can't tell you none of that, but everybody always say you gotta work, you gotta work, you gotta work. So I mean, just seeing the work that y'all put in, you know what I'm saying? And if y'all could, you know, continue to tell your story and continue to show people, I think that it is definitely an inspiration to us.
Absolutely. No, I appreciate that.
I think work looks different for every marriage, because you have different standards, you have different ways that you do your marriage. Like, y'all do your marriage one way, we do our marriage another way. So the work that our marriage requires, y'all may not recognize that work. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's different because it's just different people. Like, work is more so about, marriage is more so about the work on yourself than it is about anybody else.
For sure.
So because of that, all of us are different people. All of us gonna have different things that we gonna have to tackle. You know what I'm saying? So work is just it's work, y'all. But I'm not saying that in a bad way, because, you know, people say, this dude asked me today, he was like, how's your marriage, man? I was like, dog, it's work. And he was like, oh, man.
Yeah, you always lead with exhaustion. Like, I'm exhausted.
But that's what I'm saying.
Look, I remember when we did a podcast before, and he was like, look, we talking all this sweet stuff about marriage. People need to know. Black don't play. People need to know it's work.
He leads with our marriage is if somebody came to me and asked us how our marriage was, my initial thing wouldn't be, it's work.
If I come to him and ask him right now, he killing in real estate, right? If I come to him and I ask him about real estate, he's not going to be saying, oh, it's amazing, dog. I'm doing it because I know him, right? So intimately, I'd be like, yo, dog, it's a grind. You know what I'm saying? But I see him making it happen. And I know that it is changing his life. It's changing his family's life. It's doing all of these amazing things. But as a man, he's going to let me know, hey, this a grind. If you want to get in, and I'm gonna let you know that it's definitely a possibility for flourishing. Like, it's 100% if you go hard, but this is work. And so I think one of the things that is wrong with, well, let me not say wrong. One of the things that I think the black community should do is talk more about the work. That way, when we get in a marriage, we have some kind of expectations instead of the glossy shit. So that's why I think I lead with it more like that.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, even in talking to people every day, you know, mostly women that are not really living their lives because they are so eager to get married. It's like trying to explain what's on the other side of that. Like, if you don't live your life and do your work now, like when you get married, you still got to do work no matter what, right? But if you are romanticizing marriage and then you get married and you start to really see what it's about,
and you see yourself,
it's like that's where it doesn't last, because it's not really about. We post all the time, like you said, you see us traveling and doing all of this fun stuff, but I would say, like, the thing about our marriage that has been life-changing for me is working on myself. Like, this is not my first marriage. In my first marriage, it was like, you this, you that, you this. It's not working. You not doing this for me. In this marriage, like, I have worked on myself more, always working on myself. When I got an issue with him, let me look at me. You know, like you said, it's about that self-work. And I'm grateful that I'm in partnership with somebody that just makes room for me to be able to do my work, whatever it looks like, because my healing be off the wall sometimes, and he just be like, that's what you need to do.
Go ahead, let her heal, man.
Right.
I tell you.
Go ahead, get your heal on.
I think that's extremely important, because when you have a woman that requires that time to figure it out, And see, I think men sometimes get intimidated by that, and they, it's offensive. But it's like, this isn't even about you.
What's offensive?
Like when something is wrong with the woman, right? And she's like, I just need time, or I gotta figure this out. Then it's like they take it on as it's their thing.
You said something a couple of days ago, and we haven't talked about this, but you was talking to someone, and you were saying that
You was ear hustling?
no, I mean I was right beside you.
Okay.
And you talk loud. You know what I'm saying? If you were talking about how women, it's not okay for women to function in depression, right?
I was talking about me coming out of functioning in depression.
I wasn't trying to get, detailed. I was just saying, I know that you at one point you was like, it's not cool for women to function in depression, right? And I agree with that. And in my mind, though, what I was saying to myself is that that's what men have to do all the time.
All the time.
Like, we have to function in depression. We don't have the same luxury as, or let me say this, we don't exercise the luxury of stepping away and healing and being like, oh, look, I just need this space right now. I just need, to go in the room somewhere and cry and blah. We don't have that luxury. So we always are functioning in depression. And that's why you really don't know when a man's depressed, because we always function in it. And you can't really tell. I could tell when something's wrong with you, or I could tell when something's wrong with majority. Well, I don't want to say majority women, but we can see in women that yeah, something she going through. But a nigga can walk in here and look just like he did a month ago and be in the worst time of his life, and you'll never know because he has to function.
I 100% agree. I've been like that all my life for the most part. I've gradually been able to express that with my wife. She's been able to help me come to a place where I could feel comfortable even just having a conversation. But most days it could be just work. It could be anything that's suppressing me or making me feel, like I got to do X, Y, and Z. But half the time, even if I don't have the conversation, normally I just keep pushing through and keep on making it happen until it solves itself, or sometimes it never does and it's just suppressed inside.
Sometimes I'll be like, I'm depressed as hell. You are like, you so I'm the only one depressed. You ain't depressed. You not struggling. And it's a lot of times he'd be like, we manage different. We deal with stuff different. Yeah. I'm like, nah, it's not okay. I'm not good, and I know you not good.
Not good, and I'm not. Things are not working out.
I think it's hard for us to. I think it's hard for us to. I don't want to say admit depression, but it's hard for us to, like, try to release it at that moment because we feel like we still have to lead our house. We still have to do things. You know what I'm saying? We still have to make sure that things are okay. Because if we do it, you know what I'm saying, then we may feel like the whole thing gonna go to the shit. And that may not be the case. You know what I'm saying? It's probably not the case, especially with the women that me and him have. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't gonna allow the shit to go to the shit. But I think men in general feel that way,
Yeah, so that's
I
why
wanted
you got
to
the
be
burger
better
bar.
for y'all.
Me too. That's why you have the burger bar. I have one last question for y'all. What do you feel that you all need in your marriage right now to take it to the next level, if it's anything?
Ooh.
Outside of business, outside of like finances and stuff.
Does that necessarily mean we don't have it, or is something that we continue to have?
Yeah, something that you just hone in on. Or if you have it, you need to hone in on it, or if you do not have it, you want to get it.
No, I mean, I just feel like community has always been something that has always excelled our marriage, like just staying close-knit to couples like you guys and couples that's moving in that direction. The moment that we disregard that or push that to the wayside, we start struggling. Like, I think it's important that, we continue having the conversation, because a lot of times we can't always figure it out by ourselves. Yeah. Just continuing to have support, community. I think that, to me, has always, from the time that we struggled, it has always elevated our marriage to the next level. Just staying focused on continuous support and having people around us. Like, I think, You know, outside of that, I don't know where we would be if we wasn't going to counseling one. And then when we started, you know, meeting couples that wasn't our friends, that didn't have no allegiance to either one of us, that can hold us accountable, those things helped us tremendously. And even to this day. So yeah, I think for me, that's what it would be.
Yeah. I think just for us to continue having really hard and transparent conversations, and even like taking that to another level, like that has always been, I think, freeing for both of us. And that is my desire, like for us to get to the point where what we was talking about earlier with the looks, like I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Like tell me. Let's work through it. Let's talk about it. Let's process it. Like, I feel like that always brings us closer. Like, even if we got to have a conversation more than one time because it go left in the beginning, but we come back together and we try again. Us just being very, very transparent and honest with each other.
Yeah. And what about you?
I think we could have more understanding. I think that when I express how I feel, then that's a time for me to do that and for you to hear me, to see me, to understand me, and to try to, if I'm bringing this to you, then I'm looking for your help to work through this. I'm not looking for you to tell me, well, I feel this way. I am not okay. And I'm coming to you with this because I need you to understand this. I need you to hear me. I need you to see me. And I need you to acknowledge, like fully acknowledge and embrace what I'm saying. And then once we get past that, then I won't have a problem with saying, so what's up with you? As opposed to it kind of being minimized. And I've said this a lot, right? That when I say something, it can get minimized. Because you've been functioning in depression for so long, the moment now the floor is open. So when I open up the floor is open for you to speak. But this isn't your time. I brought this to you because I need you to hear me right now. And so I need you to hear me, acknowledge me, even if you don't fully understand it, but hear me, see me, and acknowledge it. Don't minimize it with bringing up how you feel or how I made you feel. Acknowledge that, and then we could talk about your stuff. I
got a question. Does that have to happen immediately? Like, so if you having a conversation and you just want to be heard, because sometimes what I've dealt with is if I'm just listening and hearing and I don't respond, more so processing, and if I don't give that a response right then and there that my wife want to hear at times, it can be misconstrued as like I don't care, I wasn't paying attention.
No, I'm not. The silence doesn't bother me because I know that you're processing it, right? That he's processing it. It's when if I say something to him and he'll say, well, this is how I feel. I don't want him to ever feel like if he came to me and I say, well, this is how I feel. I know that I've grown in our marriage, and so when Black tells me something, I just listen. I listen. But sometimes when I come to him with things, my feelings and how I feel is minimized with how he feels because he's been functioning in depression. So now the floor is open for him to just be like, well, this is how I feel since we talking about feelings.
Why you always give me that voice? Why I'm always
because
like
you do
this?
Get big. You get real big and you get boisterous and you get, and I don't. And so it's problematic for me being the person that I am because I'm so strong outside. And I've talked about this on the podcast a lot. And I think people are seeing us grow through this because I'm continuously talking about it. And they're seeing that, all right, this is something that they go through, that they're growing through. But if I'm coming to him because it's a safe space, even if I'm angry. Even if I'm angry, because I'm not going to just go out to somebody that's an Instagram follower and be like, girl, this is how I feel, and I da-da-da-da-da. No, I don't want what I'm going through to be minimized because I take on so many problems from other people. So when I have something going on with me, I need you to acknowledge that and not minimize how I'm feeling and say, this is what Black will do. All right, cool, I hear you, but he does it all the time. He say, all right, cool, this is exactly what he do.
I'm glad we doing this. This is dope.
All right, cool.
This is dope.
I heard what you said, but you do realize he do that. And I'm like, he did.
So let me ask a
This
question.
is not what I fucking came.
All right, so let me ask a question. Let me ask a question.
This is not,
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. If I come to you and I'm gonna create a scenario. If I come to you, let's say that you was supposed to, you supposed to do something for me. Mm-hmm. I drive past, and whatever you was supposed to do for me, you doing for somebody else. So when it's time for you to do it for me, you can't do it, right? Mm-hmm. And then I come to you, and I'm like, yo, you was supposed to do this, blah, 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 blah. I saw you over there giving it the time, blah, 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 blah. And you like, and I just want you to hear me. I just want to express myself, and you just hear me. You, on the other hand, gave Tom something different, and you was still expecting to do this for me. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's just that I didn't call or you didn't have the information. You know what I'm saying? So you want to explain to me that, okay, I understand that you're angry, but you're angry at something else. Like you don't have all of the information or you don't see everything. That's when it's hard for me. You know what I'm saying? If she's expressing her feelings, then it's easy for me. If she's expressing, look, this is how I feel about this, right? Then I feel like I can take it. But when she expresses her feelings and it deals with a situation, and the situation is in my eyes misread, or we didn't have a discussion about how things went down, then I feel like,
feel compelled to
I feel compelled to try.
Did you hear what he said? In his eyes, but if
but
I'm
no,
coming to you,
that's
and I'm
not.
telling you this is how
right.
I felt. It's
But
not about what you saw.
no, you can
It's about
feel-
how I
But
felt.
you can still feel that way. In my opinion, you still can feel that way. However, I think hearing his perspective based off, especially if you don't have all the information or know all the background pertaining to the situation, he now is bringing that to your attention.
Yes, like and then see and then
we
look.
are running out of time. Let me tell you something.
No, we're not running out of time.
Yes, we are.
No, we're not. We're
Yes,
not
we
running out of
are.
time.
Yes, we
We're not
are.
running out of time. We're not. No,
we are already
we
behind. We are already behind because this thing will go. We're gonna have to have.
no,
a date
I love
Because
this. I love this. I'm not ready to go.
Well, we gonna have to
neither.
go.
I'm
Why? I'm not. But this is what I'm saying. So
First of all, you started this conversation.
yes, and this is how it happens, right? So we started this conversation. She started this conversation. She brings it up, and now I have something to say about what she has just said.
Because
And
you're
now we
saying-
can't. Now we can't.
You're saying that I don't have all of the information when I come to you with something that is bothering me.
You have. This is what.
How it-
Listen to me. Listen. We have situations in which you feel the way you feel about something that's happened with the information that you have. You experienced it your way. And then I try to tell you, listen, this is how I tried to tell you, hey, this is how I experienced it. This is not me telling you that what you're feeling is wrong. I'm saying to you, you experienced this way, so I understand that your feelings feel this way because of this experience. I experienced it this way, and I'm telling you how I feel from my experience. So when you tell me that you see it this way and this is how you experience it, it's hard for me to not say anything unless I experienced it the way you experienced it. Because there'll be times where you'll come to me and say, hey, this is this and this and this. And I'll be like, baby, okay, I understand that. I'm so sorry. You know what I'm saying? What can I do? Or blah, blah, blah. Try to make it better. But if there's a situation in which I didn't experience it the same way, I feel like I should be able to express myself about my experience. But what you're saying is you want me to not say anything.
Does it help
So-
if he says it the way that he just said it, meaning
He don't say it like that.
I'm
No,
asking.
He's real good.
no,
right
he's good
now.
right now.
Or
So
would it
that's
be,
what I'm saying.
or would
In
it
the
be
future-
helpful to like break it up? Like when she comes to you, like you just hold space to hear what she's saying,
And
and
then
then
come
when
back
she's
later.
done, you
That's what you
say,
want.
"I heard
Yes.
what you said. I understand. Can we have another conversation so that I can let you know how I feel about this?"
Here's my thing, y'all. And this is and I'm so serious about this. And this is not a joke. I'm not even playing. Because I am who I am, right? In the public, in my business, and everything with my family, with my brothers and sisters, with my mom and dad, because I am who I am, right? I need to be able to express how I feel in a safe space to my husband. I need to be able to do that. I need to be able to do that so that I don't have a fucking mental breakdown, right? Because it's very easy for that to happen for me. And so when I go to him and say, I'm feeling this way, this, and this.
About you.
I'm not looking for him to immediately say, well, this is how I'm feeling. I need you to, now I'm minimized. So now it's like, well, if I can't do this with you, who in the fuck can I do this? I mean, I could do it with my girlfriends. I don't have no problem with doing with that. But I want to feel that I do this with and I'm not saying that we can't do that. I'm just saying that I would like it to be better. Because I don't like being minimized in a space where I should be desired and heard and understood and seen. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I guess in her saying that, it just sounds like you got to kind of meet in the middle and find balance. Because if that's what she's saying she need, I would hear my wife saying something like that all the time in that regard. But you, in all essence, you just got to find out how much time you need for us to come back to have this conversation and then come back to it.
Yeah, and I think I've also done what she is saying that Black does. It's been times where, like, Jeremiah would come to me and say, oh, I feel like this, and this. And then I'm not trying to discredit the way that he's feeling, but I'm like, no, you need to know the backstory of how we got here. And so I'm trying to process and explain. And then he walks away feeling like I didn't hear what he said, or his feelings didn't matter. So I understand both ways, because I've done the same thing. I'm like, no, I hear what you're saying, but you also need to know that this happened before we got to that place, and this, and trying to break it down. And he just feel like,
but then back to what you said, if that's my struggle, like for me, it's always been a struggle for me even to have them type of conversations with my wife. So I can easily backslide into just not talking about nothing and keep it moving and process it myself.
And that's how I've been in my relationship.
So yeah, when you do that, like I can keep it moving. Like I ain't having a conversation that ultimately she want to have.
Right.
Yeah, and then I'll just lose my voice and I have nothing to say. And y'all know me.
Yeah,
I always have something to say. So if I don't have anything to say, then something is not right.
No, I got
so what's your thing?
But I mean, like I understand all of this. What
do you think? You answer the question.
The question about what?
What do you think that we need?
I think that's
the same thing.
This the exact same thing. I think that we need to get to a space where, and I want to say this too, just for everyone. Like, this is therapy, this is therapy for us, and we're not afraid to open up or whatever. I love this woman. Ain't nothing happening. Trust me. We're going to be together forever. But there's things that we have to work through as well. So
yeah, we're going to talk to Dr. Andrew about this on Tuesday.
Yeah,
definitely. We need Dr. Andrew to dissect this shit at 4:45 p.m.
Definitely.
Dr. Andrew, are you listening? Shit.
Definitely.
Keep your notes. Write your notes down, what he just said to me.
You feel so strong, though. You feel so strong about it, man. Let's see what Dr. Andrew say.
Wednesday morning, I'm gonna wake up pissed with Dr. Andrew.
But no, I think
was just about to say, I like how y'all have these like very difficult conversations, but still be in a good space with each other. Like that's hard.
This is my best friend. Yeah. You know, and to be honest with you, beefing with her is. It's tough for me.
It's like beefing with yourself.
Yeah, it's like
I don't even want to not talk to you, but I'm not talking to you.
It's terrible.
It's a blow.
It's really, really bad.
It's a blow.
It's a terrible space to be in.
Yeah, and y'all said something about community. I just want to point this out. I never gotten a hot dog or a hamburger.
To their house.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They talking about, and we right. We can walk down to their house.
Our houses are first, and then
they got to drive past our house.
Back you get to in our neighborhood, the bigger the houses are. So they got a bigger house than us, and they've never invited us to Jeremiah's birthday.
Nothing. You know what Jeremiah did? Jeremiah called me for the entertainment for her birthday. It didn't even invite me.
And then guess what date she just said? Tiara said that one of the people that was at the retreat was at her.
Are you
daughter's birthday
serious?
party.
Are you serious?
That shit is wild.
This is
On
ridiculous.
the podcast, y'all.
On the pod. We
On the
just
podcast.
That's what we just did on the podcast.
Oh yeah, everybody can get it.
everybody
No
can
one is
get
safe
it.
on this motherfucker.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
So you
We
better
gonna
write
do better.
that.
We gonna do
we gotta do
better.
better. We gotta do
Yeah.
better.
You gotta do better.
Y'all gotta do better.
Yeah,
Y'all
we
have-
right down the
y'all have
street.
Definitely poured
Never got a
into
hot
that.
dog, hamburger, soda, nothing.
To be honest and totally transparent, we've never talked about this. So when he just mentioned that, I was like, oh yeah, we doing this. We gonna say this.
Yeah, that's what's up. That's
We
what's
gonna
up.
do better, y'all.
Do better.
No
Y'all
problem.
know if y'all cold, we like
Well,
we did.
well Tierra
We
did say that they'll watch Sage for us.
Oh, well, that'll
Absolutely.
alleviate
He
everything.
did. He did. Black Beard called me for a couple screwdrivers and little,
You
little
right. I
situations.
called you for the stud finder. You right.
Y'all, this has been so good. I want y'all to,
Mhm.
Jeremiah, you are killing it. You have a restaurant opening.
I do.
When is it opening? Tell the people about it.
So yeah, it's called Fresh Green. It's a healthy salad concept. So we're located at 32 Watkins Park Drive, right at the intersection of Watkins Park Drive and Central Avenue.
Okay.
So we're about to go into construction in 1 week. I just got my permits last week from PG County. So yeah,
That's
I'm
dope.
excited. It's real estate has allowed me to kind of expand my portfolio to be able to kind of, create some opportunities for me and my family,
Build
and
wealth.
I'm excited about it. I really am. And I think this is me trying to really set the example, because I think some people, see all the success and don't really know the backdrops, but at the same time, my mental behind it all is like really making sure that my people and my friends, my family, and people that see me know that this is possible. So
Yeah.
if people call me all the time, whatever the information I got, I don't mind giving it out. And I
Yeah.
think that's where we kind of fall short a lot of times. We always want to kind of hold that stuff inside. So anybody that want to know anything, information in regards to what I know, I don't have no problem sharing it. But so yeah, in 2 months.
What's your credit card number?
Not that.
He said any information.
So yeah, we should. Just stay tuned for the grand opening, man. We looking to probably open up the first week of August.
Oh, that's dope.
So I definitely, obviously follow me on social media and check me out at Jeremiah DMV Realtor.
My man.
I am one of the best realtors in the DMV.
Yeah,
FYI, so
talk
y'all
that
know
shit.
what's
For
good.
sure.
Talk that shit.
But yeah, man. I definitely have been getting a lot of support from the community. People hit me up, texting me, emailing, inbox, and just excited about it. Can't wait. And there's already 2 stores opening now, corporate stores that if people want to literally try the concept already in Bowie, Maryland, and one in Lowell. So it's Fresh Green. Check it out. But once I open up, come holler at me for
Oh
sure.
man. Tierra.
Tierra. Oh.
Why did she say her name again?
I'm like, Tierra, what? I am thriving in my private practice, True Self Holistic Therapy, helping women learn how to prioritize themselves, discover themselves. I am doing retreats. I have a women's wellness summit coming up in September. You can also follow me on Instagram at Tierra Abubakar. And I am accepting clients if anyone needs therapy.
I'm so proud of y'all. I'm so proud of
Appreciate
y'all.
it, man.
Give it up for the Abu Bakr.
Yes.
Thank you for having us.
Yay.
Thanks, y'all.
Thank y'all so much.
Yes, this has been a dope show.
It has been.
It has. It has been. It really has. Yeah.
All right, I love you.
I love you too, baby.
All right, peace.
Oh.
Peace.
They still good.
Black man in love, black man in love here. I'm proud she's mine, I'm loud about it, 'cause I